There is a moment that happens to many people at the end of the month. They open their banking app. They look at the number on the screen. And for a few seconds, they stare quietly. Then a familiar question appears. How did my money disappear so quickly? The strange part is that they cannot remember spending it on anything dramatic. There was no luxury vacation, no expensive car, no huge purchase that explains the missing money. Just everyday life. Groceries, transportation, food orders, online purchases, small subscriptions. Everything looked normal at the time. But together, those small expenses quietly destroyed the budget. This experience happens to millions of people every month. And it usually has the same cause. Spending traps. Spending traps are not always obvious. They rarely look dangerous. Most of them feel harmless. But their real power lies in repetition. They appear again and again in daily life, slowly draining money without attracting attention. Imagine a young professional named Ercan. Ercan works hard and earns a decent salary. He believes he manages his money reasonably well. He pays his rent on time. He buys groceries. He occasionally enjoys a meal at a restaurant. Nothing seems excessive, but somehow his savings grow very slowly. At the end of most months, his bank account feels nearly empty again. One evening, Ercan decides to examine his spending more carefully. He opens his transaction history and begins scrolling. At first, everything looks normal. But as he looks closer, patterns begin to appear. Small food deliveries, multiple streaming subscriptions, ride payments, late-night online shopping. None of these purchases looked large individually. But together, they created a powerful spending trap. One of the most common spending traps is convenience. Modern life is designed to make spending easy. Food can arrive at your door in minutes. Transportation can be ordered instantly. Products can be purchased with a single tap on your phone. Convenience feels wonderful. It saves time. It removes effort. But convenience often increases spending without people noticing. When purchasing something requires only a few seconds, the brain has less time to question the decision. Years ago, buying something required more steps. People visited a store. They carried cash. They saw the money leaving their wallet. Today, many transactions happen digitally. Money leaves quietly. The experience feels painless. And painless spending can become frequent spending. Another powerful spending trap is emotional spending. People often spend money to change how they feel. After a stressful day, ordering food feels comforting. After a difficult week, buying something new feels rewarding. The brain begins associating spending with relief. This creates a habit. Every time stress appears, the mind searches for small rewards. These rewards often involve spending money. Over time, emotional spending becomes automatic. The purchase itself may not even be necessary, but the feeling it creates becomes addictive. A woman named Sophia once noticed this pattern in her own life. Every Friday evening, she felt exhausted after a long week. Her routine became predictable. She ordered expensive takeout meals and bought small items online. At first, it felt like a harmless reward. But after several months, she realized something surprising. Her spending was highest on days when she felt emotionally tired. The purchases were not about need. They were about mood. Another dangerous spending trap is subscriptions. Subscriptions are clever because they appear small. A few dollars here, a few dollars there. Music services, streaming platforms, online tools, gaming memberships. Each one seems affordable. But many people forget how many subscriptions they actually have. When the total amount is calculated, the number often becomes surprising. Because subscriptions are automatic, people rarely feel the spending. The money simply disappears quietly each month. Another trap appears in social comparison. People naturally compare themselves to others. When they see friends traveling, buying new devices, or enjoying luxury experiences, they sometimes feel pressure to keep up. This pressure is rarely spoken openly, but it influences decisions. Someone might buy something not because they truly need it, but because they want to feel included. Social media intensifies this trap. People often share highlights of their lives, vacations, celebrations, achievements, but they rarely share financial struggles. As a result, it can appear that everyone else is living comfortably. This illusion can encourage spending that does not match personal finances. Another powerful trap is lifestyle inflation. Lifestyle inflation happens when income increases and spending increases at the same speed. Imagine someone receives a raise. At first, they feel proud and excited. They decide to upgrade their lifestyle slightly. A better phone, a nicer apartment, more restaurant visits. None of these changes feel unreasonable. But gradually expenses grow larger. Eventually, the higher income feels normal. Savings remain small. Lifestyle inflation prevents financial progress because every increase in income is immediately matched by new spending. Another spending trap is the illusion of small purchases. Many people believe their budget problems come from large expenses. But in reality, small purchases repeated daily often create greater financial impact. Coffee, snacks, transportation upgrades, impulse purchases. Each one seems insignificant. But when repeated frequently, they create a pattern. The brain often ignores small spending because the emotional reaction feels minimal. But the budget sees the entire picture. Another trap is impulsive online shopping. Modern platforms use powerful psychology to encourage spending. Limited time offers, flash sales, special discounts, countdown timers. These techniques create urgency. The brain begins thinking, if I do not buy this now, I will lose the opportunity. But many of these opportunities appear again later. The urgency is often artificial, yet it successfully triggers impulsive decisions. People buy things they had not planned to purchase simply because the moment feels urgent. There's also the trap of ignoring small financial leaks. Financial leaks are recurring expenses that people forget about. Unused subscriptions, membership fees, auto renewals. These leaks slowly drain money without creating value. Because the amounts feel small, they often remain unnoticed for months or even years. Erjun eventually realized that his budget problems were not caused by one dramatic mistake. They were caused by many small habits. Once he saw the patterns clearly, he felt something unexpected. Relief, because awareness created control. Instead of wondering where his money went, he could now guide it intentionally. He did not eliminate every convenience or enjoyment. Instead, he made small adjustments. He cooked at home more often. He canceled subscriptions he rarely used. He paused before making online purchases. The goal was not restriction. The goal was awareness. When people become aware of spending traps, their decisions naturally improve. They begin asking simple questions. Do I really need this? Will this bring lasting value? Is this purchase worth the cost? These questions create space between impulse and action. And that space protects the budget. Financial stability rarely comes from extreme discipline. It usually comes from consistent awareness. Small decisions repeated daily shape financial outcomes. When someone recognizes spending traps, they gain the power to avoid them. And avoiding those traps can quietly transform their financial future. Because money does not disappear randomly. It follows habits, and habits can change.